School biology teacher Margaret Novack and her student Brenna Hardtner, who won the first Desert Research Institute Microbe Naming Challenge on April 13th. The newly discovered bacterium is an organism that was isolated from a water sample that was collected 923 meters underground from an aquifer that flows through fractured carbonate rock beneath the southern Nevada desert. Hardtner's entry, Thermoanaerosceptrum fracticalcis, which was selected from nearly 100 entries submitted from high school biology students across Clark County School District, will be acknowledged in an internationally peer-reviewed scientific research paper published by DRI scientists and colleagues. Hardtner received a plaque and a framed photograph of the microorganism, as well as tickets to DRI's annual Nevada Medal Event on April 30th, 2015 at the ARIA Resort Casino in Las Vegas, featuring Governor Brian Sandoval. The scientist who first isolated the organism, Dr. Scott Hamilton-Brehm, visited the Foothill biology class to announce the winner. Margaret Novack, Brenna's biology teacher, was also honored with an invitation to the DRI Nevada Medal Event. Margaret and Brenna, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
I've had the pleasure of meeting Brenna at the DRI Awards, and she's an outstanding student who enjoys your class very much. I can tell that you have a tremendous positive influence on your students, and I'd like to know more about your background, Margaret, and your work at Foothill, and how did you become a biology teacher?
It's kind of a strange thing because I've actually worked in healthcare for about 30 years and decided that it's been really difficult to hire people that have critical thinking skills and a lot of the general basics down. And so I thought, you know what, there's got to be something going on with teaching, and I think I'm going to try this and see what's going on, and maybe I can have a positive influence. And so that was sort of the impetus for me starting
really
teaching.
Yeah. You went to school to be a teacher, and
I actually went through the alternative routes. I had a degree in biology with a chemistry minor, and I also have an MBA. Mm-hmm. And so they you know, and now I actually will have a master's in education in another 4 weeks, actually. So,
congratulations.
Thank you. So, you know, it's an ongoing, lifelong learning, and hopefully I can inspire that in my students as well.
When you heard about the Microbe Naming Challenge contest, what was your reaction to it?
I was extremely excited because I knew this is not something that comes along very often. I mean, just worldwide, we don't discover that many new organisms. And so to have an opportunity for the students to be involved and kind of understand the process or get involved with the process was just so exciting. So I was really excited to announce it to the students, and tried to put the, you know, there's no money involved, but this could be very prestigious for you. Do you understand? This doesn't happen very often. Brenna actually came to me after school one day. She was, you know, that just sounds like something really cool. Mm-hmm. What could we, you know, we're bouncing things off each other, and it was really a really fun activity. We sat together and we were talking about, you know, well, we had just done a lot of binomial nomenclature exercises actually in class, so talking about, you know, Latin and Greek basis for naming of organisms was just so appropriate. I mean, it really tied in well with the lessons that we were already doing.
Brenna, can you tell me a little bit about your thought process going through the naming? What was that like?
Well, I didn't know anything about Latin, actually, and I was just like thinking of any characteristics about the bacterium that like struck me as like, oh, that's a main thing. So I went home for a couple of days. I had this notebook and I was just jotting down like different kind of I went on like Google and I was looking up like like, oh, the Latin word for this is this, and so like I was putting things together, and I was like, okay, this doesn't sound right. So then the next morning, I went to Mrs. Novack, and I was like, okay, well, I tried doing names, and then we like came up with this, the original name that we had, and then I don't know, it just sounded good because everything that was in the name kind of explained the bacteria itself, not like, I was like, it was sticking to the origin of it, so, I don't know, yeah.
What do you think, Brent? Are you going to go into a scientific field?
Well, it's coincidental because originally I wanted to go into like marine biology, and I never thought that I'd actually be like in putting myself into this, because it was just like from middle school I'm like, okay, I'm set, like every class I'm taking, I'm doing it for marine biology, and to get this, to name this, it just was like, it surprised me, and I was like amazed because I was like, this ties into what I want to do, and I don't know, it's cool.
Margaret, what was your reaction when DRI contacted you with the good news?
I was so excited, and I was so proud of Brenna. I mean, the fact that she was so interested and so excited about the whole process, I mean, it just made me just fill with just such happiness. I was like, oh, I can't wait to tell her. Oh shoot, I can't tell her. Oh, I gotta sit on my hands and not tell her. I can't spill the beans.
They wanted it to be a surprise.
Keeping the secret was the hardest part. Let's put it that way. Because she was asking me all the time. Like, did they make a decision yet? I'm like, no, I think it'll be a little while.
What did you think when Scott showed up at your class?
I was surprised, but I kind of had this feeling. I was so determined. I was like, I have no doubt that I couldn't have won this contest, you know. And when they walked in, I was just like, everything that I thought was just like certain right then. I was like, I did this. I was so happy. I was so happy.
But I was curious to ask Brenna, what drove you toward marine biology? How'd you get interested in that originally?
Well, it's kind of funny, like, I went to an aquarium one time, and like, when I was young, I'd go to aquariums, but I never really like thought much into it, and then it was a field trip in 5th grade, and I went to the aquarium, I don't know where on the strip, but it's closed now. But I was just so intrigued by the aquatic animals. Like, I liked the zoo, but the dolphins, everything about marine biology interested me. And so when I went to do kind of a career thing in school, middle school, we're like always trying to set up things, and I was like, well, I want to do marine biology, so I had to do so much background knowledge on like, and I had to learn like what you do, like what you're gonna try to do at your job and everything, and I was like, well, this sounds fun, like nothing about it makes me want to like back away. So, and from there on, I was just set, like in my mind I was set that I was gonna do marine biology when I grew up, and yeah, so.
Neat. Yeah. Ms. Novack, are you able to get people from the aquatics out on the strip? I think, I'm trying to remember what hotel. It's the one with the shark tank, isn't it?
Yeah, Mandalay Bay has
Mandalay
a
Bay.
shark reef. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know which one I went to. They closed their thing down. Or maybe it was the MGM. No, I don't know. But they had an aquarium there. Not as big as that one.
At one time, there was the school district had some contacts and with some of the staff from there. Are you able to get speakers and mentors from?
You know, I haven't really tried getting them from the strip or anything like that. You know, I do have some colleagues and friends within healthcare, and that's normally where I can get speakers. But you know, it never really occurred to me to look there. We don't really really have a zoo anymore or anything like that, but,
Kind of remote, you know. in
yeah,
Las
kind
Vegas.
of remote, but, you know, maybe getting even people from San Diego or whatever, find out what, because our school, we have the AP Environmental Science kids actually go to Catalina Island and go
Wow.
and do some diving and things there, so
That's fantastic.
I'm sure that you know, working all together, we can find some really interesting things for the kids to do.
Margaret, what advice do you have for students interested in pursuing a career in the sciences?
Well, particularly for young women, I mean, because there's so few. I just think that the opportunities are limitless. There are so many things in biotechnology and in healthcare, in primary research, in all different kinds of areas that it's just so exciting and new, and it's always changing. The more that we know, the more it seems that we need to know. You know, before we were able to sequence the human genome, that was the big thing, and now it's, well, now what do these genes do? There are so many fewer than we thought there were going to be, and then now it's like, well, okay, so how really are all of these mechanisms working? And I think, you know, and then talking about how things can be manipulated, or, you know, all of the different kinds of things that, I mean, just think of the possibilities, you know, and go with what makes you get excited every day, you know. People that go to work and are happy in what they do and are excited about what they do, they have a great deal of satisfaction and they don't get bored.
Right,
So-
that's the most important thing.
Try it, you know. You never know how things are going to turn out.
Yeah.
If you're presented with an opportunity, don't let those opportunities go by, and don't sabotage yourself before you even start. Do it. just try.
Good message.
That's great advice. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.